Good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here today. We have a great show for you. I hope you brought your nice warm toasty drink or something cold, possibly. Um,
I don't have mine. Yes, I
oh,
do. Mine.
oh no, stop the show. Gotta.
Okay, let's start. It's been one of those mornings, and every once in a while you can have a morning where you just don't quite get going as much as what you normally do, just due to unforeseen
Yeah.
circumstances.
Mhm.
But you know what? The thing is to still get going and to just
Exactly.
really, it is a choice. It's a choice.
It's a choice to let
It's a choice.
well, okay, say your alarm doesn't go off. You oversleep, you're late for work. Okay. Are you going to be happy anyway? Are you going
Yes.
to be in the mully grubs all day long because you just didn't get that extra cup of coffee or you didn't get that time? No, you choose. You choose. Life is all about choices, and it's all about being grateful for what you have and what you do. And I know that so many of you are going, oh, are they ungrateful again? Why do we have to hear about gratefulness every week? Well, yes, we have been talking about that a lot, but
That time of year.
it's that time of year. Yes, it is that time of year to be thankful, to be grateful for everything that you have and for the things you're going to have, good and bad. But also, Barbara did a gratefulness summit this week. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. And it was great. I mean, some stories. Oh, such good stories. Also, we are in the process of being featured in a gratefulness book, both of us. And so, if you focus on the gratefulness, things tend to get better, which means you're spiraling up, which you
Oh,
hear all the time on this show. So I'm Carol Henderson. I have Life by Design, and I help you to see how you can spiral up, whether it's in your health, in your wealth, in your thought processes. Give me a call. That's what I do. That's what I help people to learn. And I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Miss Barbara Ellison,
yes.
who chooses every day.
Who chooses every day. And this morning, hey, yes, I'm Barbara Ellison. I'm founder of Wellness Playroom. I'm a transformational life trainer, and I am on a mission to make happiness the norm, rather than the exception, because each and every, we all deserve. I mean, we all deserve. I mean, and I truly believe that each one of us we can choose and to know that we deserve to lead happy, healthy, debt-free, abundant lives.
Yes.
It starts with that choice, though. And so this past week, I was just such a joy to be the co-host of the Gratitude Summit with my good friend and buddy Lou Vickery. And it was just amazing to hear some of the stories of like A.M. Williams, that he has built his business from a hospital bed.
Now
And
tell
he
them how
got,
big of a business.
and oh, it's a 6-figure plus
Yeah.
business. So
Hospital bed.
from a hospital bed. And he was sharing his story that he was given a death sentence of 10 days. And he said, well, you know what? I have two choices. I can either accept this 10-day death sentence, or I can do something else. Well, that started his process. He decided that he wasn't going to think about it, and he was just going to make a difference. He was going to use his 10 days to make a difference in the world in that 10 days. Well, now it's been years. But
Yeah.
it was
And
the
yeah,
biggest thing was the decision.
in that 10 days, he took a class.
He
Somebody
took
said, oh, you'd be a good coach. He goes, I am not an athlete. I'm in a wheelchair. And,
it.
but he was encouraging other people. And they said, oh, no, 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 a life coach. So
Become a
he
life.
took a class and got certified when he had 10 days to live, or less than 10 days.
Less than by that
But
time, it was like he said, it was like 8 or 9.
yeah, yeah. And he talks about being past his expiration date. But he
Yes,
does not stink. Okay. He
right.
doesn't need to be thrown out of the fridge.
And it just hit such an encouraging story.
Oh, yeah.
Just such an encouraging story. And one of the guests, she found out that she was losing her sight. And what that and how she handled that. And then, and she is blind, and now she travels around the world, still travels around the world. But because she doesn't, that thing is to don't let you have a choice of whether you are going to let what happens to you stop you, or it's going to jumpstart you into something new. And that is what the opportunity now in this world that we have, to have flexibility in our day, have flexibility in our life choices, to have freedom of choice. You can choose to do anything. You can choose to and it has been like, wow, to hear the stories. It was just so encouraging that, here was me that I got up late this morning, and I'm like, oh, Barbara, just get over it. And, let's go on for the day. And it's just been a great weekend, and went to the health club yesterday.
Silver sneakers.
If you do not, and if you're a senior and your insurance does not have silver sneakers, find out.
Check it out.
Because there are so many health clubs, or the Y. Like with me, in my case, I go to the Y. And I walked in, and it was like, sometimes when you're busy, you forget what day it is. And I walked in, and I went, "You're closing at 4:00?" It was 3:00. I said, "You're closing at 4?" She said, "Yeah." And it was like, "Oh yeah, today's Sunday." Oops. And I said, I said, "Oh, can I just go swimming?" She said, "No, the pool closes at 3:00." And it was like 2 or 3 minutes after 3. I finally looked at it and I said, "Okay, what can I do right now? I've got 1 hour that I want to just take advantage of my silver sneakers." And she said, "Well, the steam room and the sauna are both on." Let me tell you, I sat for 10 minutes in the sauna, sat for 10 minutes in the steam room. It just invigorates you when you just, number one, relax into it and just be grateful for the process. So right at that moment, I was grateful for the hot air, and then I was grateful for the steam that I felt, just like I was hydrating. And it was great. And I came out of there, and on my way out, she said, "Oh, did you get everything you wanted?" I said, "Yep, I feel great." It's like,
well, and both of those things help to lower your toxin load, because your sweat is one of the ways your body gets rid of toxins. But how many of us don't sweat?
Oh,
and my mom used to say, "Horses sweat, men perspire, but women merely glow."
Yes, or it was with us, it was women twinkle.
Twinkle, yes. But sweating has been, in our lifetime, in our culture, been relegated to, oh,
it was something you have to deal with.
Yeah, those are sweaty people, or that's a sweaty job, or Now, personally, I don't like to sweat. I rarely sweat, but a steam room and a dry sauna help to open those pores and release toxins. And so you can get rid of a big toxin load that way. And don't think, "Oh, well, I drink the burn mode," which is something we have that really lowers toxins, or I drink blueberry or eat blueberries so I don't have toxins. You've got toxins. The air you breathe, the fabric on your skin, the food you eat, the lights around you, all of those things put toxins into your body. So you have to work to get rid of them. If you think back 100 years ago or more, they didn't have all the lights. They didn't have all the synthetic foods, clothings and fabrics.
Right.
And food was not GMO'd and printed and replicated. All of those kinds of things. My son Aaron was in this last couple of weeks visiting with us. We deal in frequencies all the time, and the fabrics. He was talking about it, and it still is impacting my thoughts. But wool and linen, you're about 110 megahertz. Cotton is about the same, so it's a wash. It doesn't take anything from you. Synthetics are zeros and minuses. They pull your energy out. And stop and think how good you feel. Well, walking on the beach,
Yeah.
barefoot, that puts energy into you and it grounds you to the earth. But sometimes, and people have quit doing that because they wear rubber soled shoes. Back, even leather shoes that were common when I was little bitty, they would allow the grounding with the earth. But if you don't walk on the ground, if you don't, if you live in a high-rise apartment or an apartment where you're not on the ground, it can't
or even close to it.
Yeah, well, but it can't seep through. I mean, it can seep through concrete. The ground megahertz can seep through concrete, but then if you have linoleum or vinyl or something, pure wood can conduct a little bit, but even that stops. But people used to wear leather. They used to go barefoot. They used to walk, barefoot a lot. But anyway, back to the fabric. Linen and wool both are 5,000 megahertz. So stop and think, if you have on have a favorite wool sweater or a favorite linen blouse or shirt, how good you feel. I used to wear a lot of linen when I had the agency. And yes, it wrinkles. And yes, in business, you have to think, oh, well, I don't want to be too wrinkled on that. You have to figure out ways to not look totally unkempt. But the linen feeds your body's megahertz. But in the Bible, it says, don't mix your linen and wool. So anybody want to know why? Linen spins at one direction and wool spins at the other direction. So if you mix them, they zero out. And they have no megahertz if you mix them together. So one or the other, don't mix them.
Yeah. And you're probably wondering, what has this got to do with Monday motivation? The thing is,
one of Carol's ramblings.
One of Carol's ramblings that are but the thing is, they are so important because everything that we do can either motivate you or cast you down. And that's what this show is about. To be on the lookout for the things that cast you down, the one that brings you stress or makes you, like we always call think. So have you ever said to yourself, this is just making me crazy? Well, guess what? That's stress. That means that whatever it is that you are doing is not in alignment with how you want to live your life, so that's when, like I always call it, of getting curious. Okay, so now why is it making me crazy? Number one, am I supposed to be doing this? Big question that I have learned. Okay, Barbara, are you supposed to be doing this in the first place? And I have to say several times it's been, yeah, Barbara, what are you doing? No, you're not supposed. This is not something. Give this away to somebody that loves to do it.
Well, and
why are you?
We get overwhelmed. We commit to too much. And just, I'm going to throw Barbara under the bus here. Barbara loves to take classes. We've told you that. She takes them, she puts it down in bullet points and then tells me how to do it. So, because she loves to glean and comb through all that. Well, I don't. So, but sometimes she tries to take on too many classes, too much. She has her work, she has her day job, and then she's trying to take this class and this class and this. And used to, she'd try to take 4 classes at once.
Oh yeah, I don't do that anymore.
One at a time, and getting it all in. But also on top of that, about what am I supposed to be doing? Look at your surroundings.
Yes.
Okay. Are your surroundings part of why you're not processing things well? Do you need to go take a walk? Do you need to get some sunshine? Back when I had the modeling agency, we would go to conventions with the models. And I can remember one time, and the conventions were like a week long. And I looked around and every one of us was going, like that, just plodding through it. And I said, okay, girls, come on. And we went out and just walked. We were at a beautiful resort. It's just none of us had time to enjoy resort things.
The thing is, we thought we don't have time.
Well, yes,
And
yes.
sometimes it's a
From one
choice,
from one thing to the next
right?
to
To
the
the
next.
next thing.
And
Exactly. Go from
yeah.
thing to thing to thing.
And so we went out and walked out and everything. I said, okay, look at how you feel. Look, and people walked in and said, oh, y'all look great. What are you doing? And all we did was walk out. But everybody else had been cooped up in this big hotel for 4 or 5 days by that time. And they were all going, fluorescent lights,
Yep.
hurrying from one place to the other, lots of people. And
Yep.
all we did was go walk around the grounds, but we changed our situation, which changed our outlook,
It
changed our,
changes your state. It
yes,
changes
yes,
your
your
state
state.
of being.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then that's why so many people, like one of the benefits that Carol and I have of working at home is that we don't have commute time. How many people sit in traffic
Oh,
for hours a day?
mhm.
That long commute. And then they have a long commute in the morning. They walk into their whatever wherever they are.
Your
They have
cubicle.
their cubicle. They have workplace stress, and
Mhm.
then they have another another commute home.
And it
Well,
may only be 5 miles, but like in Dallas, that 5 miles can take you half an hour.
half an hour, and exactly. And so then when you get home, and your spouse or child wants time, seriously, what do you think I've been doing? And then it all escalates.
Mhm.
And rather than being at home and being able to or find something that's closer, these days the world of opportunity is amazing.
And we're
I
not saying quit your day job to be at home to do it.
no, no,
But
that might
if you
not be for
start
you.
now planning this time
Yeah,
next year, you could either have double your income or much, much more, or you could be working at home and
right,
making that better income and having more than enough for your holidays.
right. And if you don't want, and if and like one of the gals, um, that was on my gratitude summit, that's one of the things that she did. She realized that because of what she does, she only has to go into the office once or twice a week. The rest of the time she can work at home. And that's part of the key to it. If you love going to the office, and that's the part, and some people do, they love going to the office, and all the power to you. I am not one of them.
Well, and a lot of them use that as their me time, so to speak,
That's
away
right.
from
They
kids
love
and
it.
husband and house
Away from home.
responsibilities. Yeah.
There's the two parts of it. However, if what you love to do in your office isn't quite as paying your bills as what you would like it to be, well, that's where you can get a little side gig. And that's how I started. I had a side gig
Yeah.
of helping people to get well. Well, now it's blossomed so much more into so much more than that. And now I have Wellness Playroom for the best version of you. And that's part of the key. What is your best version?
Mhm.
So, and one of the things that I teach on is looking forward to your future you. What does your future you look like? What's your future you wearing, doing, being, having, becoming? What does your future you look like? But you have to see it through the eyes of gratitude today. Oh, well, this is my strength. Oh, I'm good at this. Okay, so how can your future you, expand on what that is now? And that's one of the things that I work with people. Let's get you to that future you so that you can be the best version of you. Because when you are the best version of you and you can realize it, then it impacts everything. It impacts how you see your life, how you see your relationships, how you see your future, how you see your retirement, how you see everything that you do. Sorry, Mile, I forgot to turn off that alarm.
Mine went off too.
And you can tell we're both coming into a meeting in 5 minutes. Anyway, but that's why it is just so important to just be flexible see how you can be flexible
Yes.
and maybe find freedom from, number one, the limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck in right now. If you are not happy where you are, there's a reason for that. And just take time to discover that, to get curious. Okay, what is it about this situation right now that I'm not, that is not in alignment with who I want to be? And the thing is, so often, so many people, they are so concerned with having more, doing more, that they forget to become more.
When they're stuck in the grindstone,
And
trying to
they're
have
stuck in the grind.
things rather than being present and letting some of the things that are you're bombarded with ads. Whether even if you don't watch TV, it's on Facebook or it's on your phone or it pops up for no reason, pops up. And so, or you're driving down the road and there's,
You might not think you're seeing them, but you are. They're going in because it's subliminal.
yes. And so that is very powerful. Subliminal stuff is very, very powerful. And, you don't need all the stuff. In fact, that's one thing I love about this tiny house movement. People are kind of going, I don't need all that. I don't want to take care of all that. I would rather, like young couples, instead of having the big fancy houses, they're downsizing and they're traveling and they're enjoying life more. And the thing is, you can give more. And the more you give, the more comes back to you, because that's the law of reciprocity. So if you give happiness, if you give smiles, more of that'll come back. If you give money, more of that'll come back. If you give time, more of that'll come back, because that is a law, just like the law of gravity.
Right.
So if you give bad stuff, guess what? If you give anger, if you give being mean to the waitress or the car attendant, what's going to come back to you? People are going to be mean to you. So let's circle up. Let's be grateful, and let's improve life. Let's improve our lives. So that's one thing we definitely like to promote here.
Yeah. So anyways, have an awesome week. And as Carol says, spiral up. And she's going to tell you how to get in touch with us.
Yes. Be sure if there's a topic you want us to cover, put it in the comments. You can message us on Facebook or on YouTube. For Facebook, please click like and share. Tell your friends about us. And for YouTube, do the little thumbs up. Do the subscribe button and ring the bell so you know when we're putting stuff up. And by the way, Barbara and I need to tell you this, we will not be doing Thoughtful Thursdays or the Aging Experts for the rest of this year, where this is Thanksgiving week. And so we are so thankful. We didn't do this last week, but we forgot to tell y'all that. So they are all in the archives, both on Facebook and YouTube. Lots and lots of shows we have some great guests. Okay. We have some amazing guests. We have already started taking care of guests for the next year, and we will be, bringing that to you. But we decided, with the busyness of the holidays and the busyness of our schedules, that we were going to circle up and we were going to be in the moment with our family and friends. So please click like and share both platforms, tell your friends, and look forward to the new year. So thank you so much, so very, very much for joining us today. And
we'll see you next week.
Improve your life. Bye.